Hey guys, welcome back to the FPL X Scout podcast for Game Weekly OD of XG. This is the Game Week 2 team selection video. First, I'll go through the Game Week 1 review. These are all the games, and this is how I did. 73 points. I'm pretty happy, but some decisions that did not go my way, some that did. So, the biggest differential I had was no Jesus. Friday, the first game of FPL, I was really scared, like 80% own. But luckily, he did not fire. But my differential over him, which is Harry Kane, did not either. Luckily, the other people I didn't go for, like Robbo or Luis Diaz, did not hit. So it's not that much of a rank impact. So 73 is fine. I had Haaland and Salah, so that worked out. Other big hitters I've been considering from last week, obviously like a Saka or a Jesus. Arsenal have great fixtures ahead. I'll be talking about that way more, but I want some more Arsenal players in my team. Liverpool had a shocking draw against Fulham, but I expect Liverpool to turn up, and DarwIN is going to be the main topic of this video, so we'll more on that later. Bournemouth Aston Villa, again a surprising win for Bournemouth. No one really expected that. We own Aston Villa assets like Bailey and Cash, so let's hope Aston Villa that wasn't the Aston Villa of the season, and we see a better performance against Lampard's Everton. Leeds Wolves, again an interesting game. Both teams are pretty open, so that's one thing to watch out for. Both defenses look shaky. Newcastle looked really sharp against Nottingham Forest. I regret starting with Cash over Trippier, but that's there now. Cash has an Everton game, so I hope he capitalizes. As for Spurs, impressive showing, but somehow Kane just avoided points. He played a lot deeper, and that's how I'm looking to move him this week. Southampton were just horrible. Everton tried to defend their hearts out, but Chelsea got a narrow 1-0 win. Neither were that convincing. Leicester Brentford. Leicester were amazing till Dewsbury Hall went off. So they were 2-0 up. They were cruising. Like they were much better. But then Brentford turned it up, and Leicester turned it bad with Rodgers' insane sub. Brighton were definitely better than United. United did have chances. Brighton did look shaky, but Brighton were the better team. And Manchester City, Haaland is a must. You can get more clean sheets. They will keep clean sheets. That's about it. As you can see in my team, Ramsdale clean sheet. He's good to go ahead. Reece James, Tottenham game, but he's a must. Cancelo, Trent, I don't need to talk about. Cash is getting this one more game against Everton to prove himself, but he's really on the chopping block for the future. Salah, Martinelli are fine. One if Neto, Bailey will probably move on, especially because Andres is showing himself that he can be a good sub or 11th man. But again, Neto has Fulham and Bailey has Everton for this week, so big ones. Kane is probably the move I'll be making this week. I'm still not sure on that if I do make the move, but if I do, it's him. Haaland stays. Haaland will probably be captain for Bournemouth game. As for my league, over 600 managers have joined this year, so that's huge for me. I'm 99th in my league, even after having a 73-point week. So they're engaged managers. The top 10 are on your screen. Join soon. Like I don't think anyone beyond the first month will be able to participate in any of the prizes. You will be eligible for the monthly prizes, but not the grand yearly prize. So register fast. The league code's on the screen throughout the video, so do join. As for my overall rank, like nothing right now. Like the people who use chips and everything. So as long as you're not doing bad, you're fine. Other than that, I think if you have any questions, do comment. Ask me about your team. Any personal, typical to your team questions you have, you can put them ahead or ask me on Twitter or Instagram. And please do subscribe, like, and share. So this is my bust team going into the week. Everyone has a home game, so that's good, except for Kane, who is probably moving out. Ramsdale, good fixture. Everyone has a good fixture other than Reece James per se. I'd be happy with any of my players having those fixtures. Out of these, I think Crystal Palace is the toughest one, but it's Liverpool, so I'll take it. And the subs are also pretty good. Archer is obviously third sub. Patterson and Andres are proving themselves to be quite useful if needed. And let's see what we do about Kane over there. Um, there are quite a few options over here. One is to obviously hold Kane and see what the future holds. He does have an okayish record against Chelsea. Spurs themselves aren't the best, so you can't really say much. Kane's fixtures after the Chelsea game are pretty good. Wolves look leaky with the four at the back. Forest were bad against Newcastle. West Ham are still to see, but it's Spurs, and then you have Fulham. I think that's a great run for Kane, especially with the captaincy in the Wolves game. But I just don't see myself holding him in game week 3. With him in my team, I have him, Haaland, Reece, Trent, Cancelo, Salah. These are all just essentials, and that leaves me with very little flexibility throughout. That's why I'm considering to move on from Kane. And then the question comes, why not this week? I have to analyze if I think Kane against Chelsea or if I get a Darwin or a Jesus in their individual games if they're better than Kane alone in just this game week. And that's why I think Kane's competitors are here, which is Darwin and Jesus. I've missed price drops, price rises a lot in this, but that's just to make sure I want Darwin or Jesus or stay with Kane. As of now, I'm leaning most towards Darwin. I do think Arsenal have the best fixtures coming up, but I do have Ramsdale and Martinelli already. I have space for one more. I think I can wait the Leicester game out and then decide if I want Jesus or Saka because I do have a way of getting to Saka in game week 3. And Saka or Kulu, if any of them look more appetizing than Jesus, I think I'd rather jump on that. As if Darwin, if I do make that change, I have 2.3 in the bank. And then the next question that happens is does that 2.3 million help me this week with a -4? Or do I just save it for next week? All of my players who are playing have home games. The good fixtures. I don't feel like anyone is lacking, or I have significant amount of information on someone that I do not want to own them. If I honestly could get to Foden and Darwin in 2 moves, I would do that. But I the price rises have messed it up a little, and I can't go from Neto to Foden. But again, I do want Neto to get that Fulham game, so I can't be sure. I can obviously do a Jesus and a Foden if I want, but that's essentially me losing Darwin in the future and committing to Foden, who I'm not that sure because of Pep Roulette. Now, if Haaland and Kevin look like they're starting every game, you do shuffle around the other people. So I'm not quite sure what Pep does there, and again, it's a wait and watch. I do not want to take that many negative hits quite early on, but that's the type of manager I am. I do take a lot of hits and I hope they pay off. It's individually you have to look at them. If this one is going to pay off 4 points in this week or the upcoming weeks to when I plan to hold him. I do think Darwin outscores Kane by 4 points this week alone. That's why I think that actually that is just a free transfer. With the next transfer that I look at has to be worth that 4 points. So if I do think Foden gets 4 points more than Neto, I will make that transfer, or I find someone else who's worth that. Um, Other than that, there are not many options. Given I already own Haaland, I think he's a must. There's no debate on that. If I do want to upgrade, I can go from Archer to Mitrovic, which again is a good strategy. But according to me, the best mid-price strikers are and fixture-wise are Ivan Toney and Patrick Bamford. Patrick Bamford would be my number one after Jesus and Darwin, but I can't get to him either in one move, so he's out of the picture. But those are things that you can look at and decide if those are viable for you. I know there's a lot of content this week just about Kane to Haaland or Kane or Haaland or Salah captaincy. My video is not about that. I'm going Haaland captain. I've owned Haaland, but I had Kane. I don't have Jesus. I don't think any other content creators out there have gone no Jesus. So maybe this helps the niche amount of population who have no Jesus. I guess you did go with Kane and now looking for a way out. And that's why I feel like DarwIN comes out. My initial strategy was obviously game week 2 going Kane to Jesus and getting someone like a Foden or a Luis Diaz or a Robertson because I didn't go triple Liverpool. And I knew I'll be a transfer behind those guys if Luis Diaz or like Robo, anyone does well. I wanted that flexibility to see who does well. And here, just DarwIN has stepped up and allowed me a differential on the Liverpool triple up. And I think I want to capitalize on that. It's now or never with him because if at all he does kill, everyone will be on him. And then it's not a differential anymore. So yeah, that's my thoughts for the week. I will probably be doing Kane to DarwIN just that, but I'll be open to a -4, -8, or just holding Kane too. So watch out on my Twitter. I'll probably post my team right before deadline. I'll have to wake up at 5 a.m. just see TV news if Bailey is playing, start him, Andres Pereira, stuff like that. As of now, my bus team is this. Hopefully, I do wake up with my alarms at 5 a.m. and make the Kane to DarwIN change. Other than that, yeah, nothing much. Good luck for the week and do join my league. Let me know if you have any questions. See you next week.